Yeah, I know. This is a little bit of a different kind of video here on the Mr. Docket channel, but I am still just as excited about it as I am for my Disney Cars stuff, which speaks to how monumental these new Hot Wheels Acceleracers releases really are. Now, you guys know this isn't necessarily my expertise, but I have done some research and I have contacted the experts. They've given me some good info, so hopefully I'm able to find my way throughout this video, review the new cars for you in a way that you Hot Wheels, you Acceleracers fans deem suitable and deserving for these cars that are now nearing, yeah, I mean, they're 20 years old at this point. This is the 20th anniversary of Acceleracers, so very cool, very fun stuff. And you guys know I am a huge Battle Force 5 fan, which is the show that came after Acceleracers. And so I would love nothing more for Hot Wheels to do, Mattel and Hot Wheels to do a revitalization of the Battle Force 5 releases. So I feel like I owe it to myself and I owe it to, everybody to review these Acceleracers, give them some time in the limelight. So just maybe one day Battle Force 5 can also come back in a silver series like this. But yeah, let's just dive right in. Enough rambling. I found these at Walmart the other day. It was the only Walmart, and I go to a lot of stores that I have seen these at so far. They had 2 complete sets along with a couple others, so I'm not sure. I guess I probably was late to the party. Totally fine though, I still got 2 complete sets, but there were like 3 Reverbs. There were only 2 of Iridium over here though, for example. Now, to my understanding, Reverb probably will be the most popular, who they have renamed Revert due to a trademark issue, but they have made sure to trademark Revert down there, as you can see with the TM. But yes, Reverb back in the day was the rarest of this bunch of 5 Acceleracers. Now, I've been told that the rarest ones actually are 2 in my possession. Spectite here. Now, maybe it's a different paint job, but I have the Teku, Spectite, and Chicane here because they appeared in the Hot Wheels Beat That video game from way back in the day. What was that, 2007 or 8? That is also something I'm extremely passionate about alongside Battle Force 5, so I've made it my goal, which I have achieved, to collect all of the playable cars in that video game. And so that was kind of my first exposure to Acceleracers through that game, as some of the cars, some of the Acceleracers are playable in Hot Wheels Beat That. Most notably here for us today is Hollowback. Now, the Acceleracers Hollowback is one of the more common ones, still not like cheap or, $5 on eBay by any stretch of the imagination, but way more common than those others I just showed you. And he also happened to be chosen for this series. So it's kind of 2 birds with 1 stone for me. I don't now have to open up one of these. I could leave this in the package, open up this guy, and bam, now I have another Hot Wheels Beat That car loose and displayed in my collection. But yeah, getting back to Revert, he would be the closest thing to like a Race Damage Mood Springs re-release, but I still don't think quite that crazy. Now, this guy's heavy. Like, when I took him off the pegs, I almost like dropped him because I was not expecting him to be, yeah, he's like twice the weight, maybe even more than Hollowback. He is metal body, metal base, which is a retooling, like a complete revamping from when he was released way back in the day. Now, I'm pretty sure that is Vert Wheeler, who is the same character in Battle Force 5, but just like different, just same name. You guys know what I'm saying. Hot Wheels Silver Series, that name has always thrown me off. It makes me think that these should be like silver cars, but it really is just like a way of saying, yeah, this is like kind of premium, but still like not rubber tires and super expensive like our other premiums are. But yeah, I mean, they get the cool artwork here. I mean, I think the artwork is phenomenal. You could see, the sphere. I'm sure you guys know the exact name for that in the background there with the symbols on it. You have the track here with the car, the character, and the Acceleracers logo there. 5 of 5 here, Revert. And yeah, he is a heavy boy. I'm excited to open them up. On the back, you can see the other 4 cars in this silver series, being Iridium, RD-09, Sling Shot, and Hollowback there. But yes, very excited about this, guys. I'm so glad I guess I'm one of the more sooner people to find these racers, these Acceleracers. But I just also feel that a lot of people like in Canada and across the world have been finding them, and I have not. My Walmarts are clogged on other silver series like the Avatar one. They've always had the like Stars and Stripes one, among others. Finally, though, one of my stores got in the Acceleracers. Now, I don't know the names of all the characters. This guy looks a little scary. I like the hair, though. Obviously, this will probably, I don't know if this will be my favorite, but Hollowback has a special place in my heart because of his inclusion in the Hot Wheels Beat That video game. And I was totally going to open up one of those Acceleracer versions of him, and then this series was announced, and I was like, no way, that is perfect. I have opened up, I have almost every Hot Wheels Beat That car in the package and opened except for the Acceleracers ones. I am not opening any of those. Those are investments. Those are like stocks. Somehow was able to procure them all a couple years ago, and the prices since then have gone up like crazy. I mean, Spectite and Chicane, very fortunate to have gotten those, I think, from a fellow collector. The other ones like Powerbomb and Jackhammer and Covelight came from eBay. Here we have Iridium. I really like the color scheme on him with the kind of lavender, purple, and silver. Although on the diecast itself, it comes out more of a plasticky looking gray. That's okay. The tires look really cool. I've heard that this guy is actually inaccurate. Like, this isn't the proper character, the proper driver for this car, but all of them have like kind of a similar silver and purple costume. So Mattel got confused. Trust me, from the Disney Cars perspective, I know your pain. They have done that similar kind of mistake a bazillion times. The backings are all the same for these guys. Now, I have heard from a particular expert who we will give a huge shout out to momentarily that this is actually like a new Acceleracer. This would be like, in terms of Disney Cars comparisons, if they re-release the 2012 Super Chases like Flash, Memo Rojas, which they actually are kind of doing, Billy Petrov, Longja, Frosty, but then they also did Fernando Alonso from the Spanish version of Cars 2. Kind of similar to that, I would interpret, although these obviously weren't Super Chases, but they kind of have that vibe because they're so rare now. But yeah, this guy was not released back in 2005, but the paint job, you know, this guy does appear in the Acceleracers show. And there are a couple other examples of that, including a Diora, and then there is another one that I don't think they've done yet in this Teku style paint job aesthetic. So kind of the best of both worlds for Acceleracers fans who get some nice re-releases, albeit different. And then you get a new one as well, the Sling Shot here. So cool. Sling Shots, like I have a Sling Shot from way back in the day that I always used to play with as a kid. I think it was like red. I don't know. I loved it. I think it was a metal body. Maybe it was both metal body, metal base. I'll have to dig it out of the abyss here soon. This one's pretty cool too. She looks really scary. Really scary. Honestly, I'm not trying to look at her for too long. RD-09, black and green, one of the racing drones, I believe. Villains from Acceleracers. I hope I got that right, because I got some information on RD-06 here in the main line that came out earlier this year. Obviously, very similar paint jobs of the black and green. This is like a homage, though, to the original. Thanks humongously to Acceleracers from Tesla's Cube on YouTube. I'll throw his YouTube or their YouTube channel link in the description below. They are where I got a lot of this information, specifically Acceleracers, who actually sent me this RD-06 and Diora 2, as aforementioned here, in the Teku paint job. Humongous thanks, like I said, to you for sending these. You did not have to do that, but they will be put to great use as I will be opening them here in this video to kind of review alongside the Acceleracers Silver series. They look great. Some of the more standout fantasy castings in the main line that I've noticed over the last couple years as kind of a casual Hot Wheels collector. But again, thank you to Acceleracers, not only for these cars, but also for all the information you gave me on the new Acceleracers line. So without any further ado, let's just rip all 7 of these cars open. Like, let's just have a blast.
Right now I'm living in a daydream. It won't leave my mind. When I'm with you, yeah, nothing really matters. Don't need money or time.
Wow, I always feel like a little kid again when I open that many cars at once. Usually I'm just open one here, one there, so 7 at a time. Even Hot Wheels is fun, brings back some good nostalgia. But yeah, let's dive into the whole squad here. We're going to start with the core Silver Series Acceleracers and save Diora 2 and RD-06 for last. Let's get into it with Iridium, who, like I said, really strikes me with the paint job. I love the gray and light purple, pink, magenta. I think magenta is a good way to describe the color on this one here. But yeah, I love the transparent magenta. There we go. We're really narrowing it down on how to describe this color. But yeah, the tires look fantastic. You can see this one is a metal base plastic body. Now, it's not like these cars are never released. It's that in these paint jobs, in these Acceleracers aesthetics, they are never released until now, right? I mean, I've seen other Sling Shots and Hollowback, not necessarily Revert / Reverb. That's a little bit of a different scenario, but yeah, I mean, I've seen other Iridiums throughout the years as well. That is why you do see that 2014 copyright there for Mattel. Now, these 6-spoke wheels I hear are new. They look really cool. Nice silver contrasting the plasticky looking gray. That is my only complaint with Iridium here. Just not big on the, like, just screams off to you, this is a plastic body. Whereas with some of these other ones, like RD-09, I really can't tell. Hollowback also pretty good, can't really tell. I know with Sling Shot, that's a metal body. And then with Revert, it's both. But yeah, this one, just a little bit more blatant. I like the headlights up here. That looks cool. The purple stripe coming down the center. And then just kind of like a massive glass canopy cockpit for Iridium here. Beautiful. You could see a little bit of the interior there. I think you could see the steering wheel on the left side there. And yeah, cool tampo there. I hear that the decals were done via a mix of inkjet and tampoing, so that is good to know. I would assume this one's just a straight up tampo because it's on the plastic. Got like some scales going down the middle there too. Very interesting wing. I bet this gets some crazy aerodynamics as the wind shuffles through the tunnels here. I also really like how the tires are exposed on the top here. That is a really cool feature. And there are some windows there even for the front ones. But yeah, they are completely exposed here in the back. That's really cool. Really nice. I bet this one's pretty good on the track because it's smooth on the sides to be caught by the booster. Probably not the best downhill, though. I bet Revert would go crazy downhill just because of how heavy he is. All right, let's moving on to RD-09. This one is also a metal base plastic body. So you guys know how to read these date stamps. I'm sure if you've seen some of my Disney Cars videos. U24A means he was produced during the 24th week of 2025 at the A factory. And it seems that this one is 25. We'll go to the other ones when we get there. So yeah, they were made not too long ago, but well into the year. Now this one looks like also has a metal piece here in the center. This engine piece is also die-cast metal, it appears, whereas this is a chrome plastic. That's a chrome plastic. You got the metal base, by the way. So this one has green transparent tires. I like that. Similar to what we'll see on RD-06, just with different wheels. The new 6 spokes. On the side, I think that's like your Racing Drones logo in their own language. This almost looks like a spider here in the back that's like shooting out its web. It's like a Spider-Man logo almost. Yeah, I love how transparent this window is. You can see right into the cockpit there. This one's definitely not one of my favorites, but I do like kind of the long aerodynamic blades. I don't know, I just love how these things protract in the back. I don't know what you would refer to these as sophisticatedly. Just look like blades coming off the back. But I really do like that part of RD-09 here. fits the vibe that that character's artwork gave off. Scary lady. All right, I know a bunch of Acceleracers fans are screaming at me for calling her just like a scary lady. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. Here we have my favorite. I do think this one will be my favorite because of reasons I talked about. I mean, Hot Wheels beat that. Hollowback. Used to play as this character. I don't know. Is it a character? Is it a car? What do I call it? He, she? It's kind of hard. When you refer and you review Disney cars all day long, you always like refer to them as a gender. And then you start reviewing Hot Wheels, and it's just like, yeah, I'm calling it a he. Probably doesn't really have a gender, but they do for Acceleracers because there are drivers here. It's a whole mess. But yes, used to play as Hollowback a lot, and therefore has a really special place in my heart. I feel like in the video game is a little more red. This one's a little more brown. The official Acceleracers release here. Now, I do think there are a couple of variants of it. This one's like the matte satin finish, but obviously a lot more red. I love those wheels. So those are just, those are also 6 spokes there, but they have the red dot in the center, and they're a little bit different, a little more tiered and layered than the ones that we're getting on the Silver Series. These are a little variant and offshoot of that with the chrome walls and then just black there in the center. That's really cool. I am a big fan of that. I think this is a Metal Maniacs paint job because of the MM there. I like the black design that you see throughout. I like the black on the hood and toward the back here. This guy's got some serious hardware, like the fan turbine there in the back. You got windows open. You can see right on into the interior. You got the blown engine here with the bridge on top. Really cool. I love the headlights on this one here as well. Just looks like a muscle car. Fancy muscle car. Lots of cool features. Very light though. It is a metal base U24A. Very plastic body though, with a lot of missing gaps. So it's like, yeah, a lot of open windows. So not even that much plastic. This one and Iridium are probably the lightest of the 5 here. But yeah, I love this guy. He'll look great with my other loose Hot Wheels beat that playable cars. Here we have Sling Shot. So this is the quote-unquote new one for the series that was not released back in 2005. And yeah, I have to applaud Mattel for including this one in the mix. And so create a really cool variety, a nice diverse batch to start off and lead off with. I have understood that if these are popular and sell well, they are liable to do a second wave. I would love that for Acceleracers fans. I'd love that for myself. It probably doesn't move the needle all that much on Battle Force 5 potential, but maybe it does a little bit, right? And that is truly my end game, although I really think if they were to do Battle Force 5, it would just be like those 5 main characters that they would release, the main 5, and they wouldn't go into, those really rare releases toward the end that somehow have only found their way to like Brazil and Mexico. Very strange, like Splitwire, Vanicus, Vilorex. You guys know, hardcore fans out there, what I'm talking about. It seems like for Acceleracers, they're all a little bit more on an even playing field, so they were able to take a good batch with a new release here. Maybe they would do that for Battle Force 5. There are some potential new variants they could do, I guess. But yes, I've always liked this sleek design here. I like how it kind of opens up in the back. You got the taillights there. This is a metal body plastic base situation. You have the Teku logo there with the orange stripe. You have the blue along the bumper here, kind of like a grill situation there. I think this is going to be your inkjet 3000 Teku. Circular logo there, clone. So I never watched the Acceleracers show if it's not already evident. Battle Force 5 was my thing. Acceleracers a little bit before my time. I never went back to watch them. I like the little spoiler here in the middle of the little fin. This one's U25A. I'm sure it's a good show. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not like I actively avoid it and dislike it. Just Battle Force 5 was on when I was in that era, watching Cartoon Network and the Disney Channel and all that good stuff back in the day. For whatever reason, it just really resonated with me. Obviously, I was already in the Disney cars by that point, 2010, 11, 12. But honestly, when I first watched Battle Force 5, I was like, what the hell is this show? This is weird. It was like probably honestly one of their worst episodes. It was the one where it's like within the living organism and the Sark take control of Agura's Tangler. I'm not a big fan of that episode. It kind of grossed me out. Like there are some gross things in that episode. Not one that I ever really rewatch. But for whatever reason, it was like a guilty. But it's like I hate it, but like I'm gonna keep watching. And then as I kept watching, I was like, oh my god, like this is really good. And then when season 2 came along, it just changed my life. Season 2 is like literally one of the most best written in terms of story you could ask for of any show ever made. And I truly do mean that as somebody who's seen quite a few shows like Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. It's really up there in terms of storyline. The first season is not very story centric, but once you get to the last episode, it's like the writers completely changed how they went about that show. Anyways, here we have Revert. Still feels weird saying that. There is a car in Battle Force 5 named Reverb as well, so it just feels backwards. This one, I think a lot of people will opt for as the most popular. I mean, that's evident through the price of the old version, but also being metal body, metal base is really nice. You can see this one's a copyright 2025 because this is the first time they've released a car under the name of Revert, and also the first time they've released a car tooled this way, right? Metal body, metal base. Beautiful. I mean, this might be my favorite if Hollowback didn't have such a soft place in my heart, because this is a mean looking vehicle. It's a long car, so you get a lot of die-cast metal here. I love the blue transparent tires there. You have the Teku paint job, looks like number 7 or maybe number 9. You have bright orange window transparent pieces here. You can see the interior with the steering wheel, the engine here in the back. Just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I would assume this is going to be the one that is hardest to find, although I found 3 at my store and only 2 of some of the other ones. So maybe not. Who knows? I still have not found these at any other Walmart since then. So, yeah, I mean, this series probably is going to sell pretty well, I would guess. I like the little red taillights there on the back as well. All right, getting on over to RD-06 here, that is in the main line. They've even done like a recolor of it. I think they're even recoloring it again for like an Acceleracers line. Maybe that's a 2026 release. I'm not big on either of the recolors, but this one is really nice and obviously pays homage to the racing drones of the past era, 2005 RD-06 release. Yeah, so you have the transparent green tires, but with a more traditional looking wheel spoke action there that you see on other basic main lines. But yeah, this is a metal base, plastic body. I think this reads like Racing Drones RD-06 or something in their language. You have the Hot Wheels logo there. Really cool. There are a lot of RD-blank cars. I think some of them are like gross. Some of them I'm not a big fan of at all, but these two are pretty cool. There's one that's just like so compact. It's like fat. It's like a chubby, like maybe that's RD-04 or something. I don't know. Really need to do some more research and dive deeper into the lore of Acceleracers. I think I would find myself enjoying it quite a bit. And then last but not least is that Diora 2 here, the Teku that matches perfectly here with Sling Shot. There is another one, I believe Acceleracers mentioned, along with these two, that Mattel did not do back in the day. So maybe we'll see that in the future here to kind of complete the trio. But yeah, it's kind of cool. You know, you get this one in the main line, you get Sling Shot in the Silver Series. So, I mean, Mattel's actively trying to kind of fill in the blanks with some of these Acceleracers releases, and I appreciate that. Wish they showed kind of some of the same level of attention to detail to the Disney Cars line. But yeah, you have the Teku logo, Hot Wheels logo there. They kept it very consistent, you know, transparent, very transparent windows, chrome interiors. You do have the surfboards at part of the metal body there, which feel a little out of place. You have the metal engine here in the back. Like if this was a part of the Silver Series, you'd probably see painted taillights, obviously the upgraded wheels, but it is just the basic mainline. And big thanks to Acceleracers for sending it my way. So guys, that is all I have for you for this video. That is the review of modern day Acceleracers. I mean, we got 7 of them here from a little bit of an outsider perspective. Hopefully I did a decent job. I don't mean to step on anyone's toes. I know this isn't my forte, but I thought I would still give it some attention here on the channel. It's something I'm passionate about. It's very relevant to something I'm even more passionate about, being Battle Force 5 and how wheels beat that. And yeah, I'm trying to diversify the content here on my channel. I think there are some longevity weaknesses to the Disney cars that are becoming more and more apparent as we go on and on here in time, unfortunately. But guys, as always, thanks for your support. I'll see you soon for another video. Bye now.
Got these feelings.